Well, hello everyone, and welcome to our Tuesday team call, Tuesday, March 10th. And we're really excited to be sharing some great training from Miami ICU. So, but we'll always, as always, would love to start with some shares. I'm Stephanie Blackbird, for those of you who don't know me, or if you're watching in recording mode. And I don't know quite why we have Gina's green phone icon selected. We'd love to see your face, but I'd love to also hear from Brooke, if you're able to show yourself to us, because Brooke just got back from Australia celebration.
Yes, I did.
So,
can you give me 2 minutes to put some clothes on?
okay, I put a shirt on. I put a shirt on. That's, yeah, and then I think I stood up while the camera was on. Not a good idea. All right. Who would like to share then a victory from this week?
Lauren, I actually had, I think I sent out between phone calls and emails and Facebook chats and everything, I think in the last 2 or 3 days, I think it's probably been about 30 people that I've either sent the video to, sent the Rise movie to, or chatted with them on the phone. So I have a lot of people in the funnel, if you will.
Awesome.
Okay, that's great.
So it's good because you know how I am with my conversations. So I'm trying to talk more and do more and express myself better.
Yeah.
So it's just the more I do it, the better or more comfortable I get with it. So
that's great. So Gina, if you're not going to share, maybe mute, because there's something, whatever you're doing or your phone is hearing, it keeps popping up into the main screen. And somehow
sorry, I'm just trying to get back in because I can't see anybody. Oh wait, I can see everybody now. Yay! Sorry.
Wait, where are you then? Gina's iPhone, maybe?
Yes.
Okay. And is your camera on?
I thought so.
Okay. I see black, so maybe you're in the dark. And Penny's in on her phone. That's all right. And Brooke, are you ready by chance?
Sure.
Okay, so let me find you again. There she is. Okay, hold on. There's a way to highlight spotlight video. That's you. Hi. So, wow, Miss World Traveler. How was it?
It was so fun. It was a great, great time. I will say we are so fortunate to have national celebration on this part of the world, because even, like, I believe all their events are phenomenal, and I believe Celebration is the best event that Isagenix does, but there is a difference in the Isagenix in San Diego, the national celebration, versus the Australian celebration. We do it better.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it was still really great. You know, you only heard from Australian leaders and people that were doing the business there. So, but they were phenomenal. Definitely, it was cool because John Anderson spoke, which I thought was really great to see. The culture in Australia is really exciting to witness. And for me, it was the first time I really was able to participate in more start stuff. So, like, they had a start party for the director and above, and it was amazing to be a part of that. And, you know, you see this culture of people, like a room of hundreds of people that are just making this a business. And there, I feel like you hear more testimonials than I ever really experienced of people who, like, 11 months into figures, and like people that are just like jumping into the business unintentionally, like starting as product users and running with it. And I'd say two points that I really loved was we had the privilege of
Hang
having
on,
Preston Smart.
Brooke. One sec. I do want to hear those, and I want those to be really clear. So if you're not sharing right now, please mute yourself, because I don't know if somebody's driving or in a noisy area, but I'm hearing a lot of interference, and I really want to. Oh, that got really quiet now. Whoever did that, thank you. And yes, okay, it's nice and clear, Brooke.
Okay, so two things. One was that it was really cool. Preston Smiles, he spoke. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with him or not, but he is a motivational speaker, and he also is a Isagenix advocate. And he was just, what's that?
I don't know. Somebody's got something going on. So can everyone please mute if you're not sharing? Thank you.
And he really talked, about the gift that we have, and like shared a lot about gratitude with it. And he had this phenomenal point that he said, and it was, it's not happy people that are grateful, it's grateful people that are happy. And that just like so resonated, because I really do believe that's something that we have as, that's a beautiful thing we have in this culture, is a group of people that are so grateful. And because of that, it resonates with just happy, excited, full of life, energized people. So I think that was awesome. And then also, one thing for me that's been kind of a struggle with personally in terms of building my team, and I feel like I'll get some business builders, and then I feel like I have this weight on my shoulder to help them get their business launched. And I do think that that's important, to be super big cheerleader and really leading people, but more people than ever who I talked to who were really committed and doing going Crystal Executive 3-4 star and above. And I asked a couple of people that I chatted with in that position, how do you do with like team training and calls, and like, are you constantly on that, doing that kind of stuff? And 9 out of 10 people, the response was no. That stuff is amazing to do, and it's great to have a team that you do those things with. But when it comes to the people that are starting a business, they have all the same tools that I had that I started my business with. And if they're not taking themselves through isagenixbusiness.com and following the steps that the company has set out there, my time is too valuable. I don't need to teach them what they have access to already. And I just thought that was so awesome, where I just went back to people who I'm working with and who are saying it's not working. And I can straight out say okay, so tell me, how much of isagenixbusiness.com have you gone through? Have you written out a 90-day game plan? Have you watched these videos and webinars that are posted there? And the majority of them are like, well, no. And it's like, okay, so that's where the disconnect is. So let's go back to basics and the fundamentals. Don't come to me like I'm some wizard. I did that. Now you have the opportunity, you do it. And then we'll talk, and I'll support you, and I'll get on calls with you. But I feel like a weight has been lifted in terms of feeling like I needed to direct them. They already have a path to take them and direct them.
And I think that's a really great realization. And we kind of walk a fine line. We walk a fine line with that, because we still have to, that high touch and high tech balance. You know what I mean? Yep. And we work together, you and I, very closely. And we did use the tools, of course, and I directed, but we have to direct them there. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing, and that's so true. And let me just figure out how to, okay. That's so true, is that the people who are going to do it are going to do it. Yeah. Whether or not you direct them, whether or not you show them where, I didn't really have anyone to work with. And there are lots of people in this business who just took off, or whose sponsors quit and they still did it. So I think that's very freeing. And the way I like to look at it is that we are responsible to our people, but not for our people.
Totally.
Yeah. Great. All right. Are we ready to jump into it? Does anyone have anything burning they'd like to share?
I had 2 of my best weeks while on vacation.
That's a great thing.
Residual income, not in bonuses, but that you always hear a lot of people say, I go on vacation and I cycle more than ever. And I kind of chuckle because I know in my other business, I always find that I'm most busy when I leave town, and I put this to the test, not intentionally, but I just kind of was able to really experience that exact effect, that I cycled more than I had any other week while I was on vacation.
And I can say that's happened for us almost every time we've gone away.
So awesome.
Including when we were in Miami.
I love that. Yay!
Yeah. All right. So we're going to jump right into, tell me when you guys can see the screen. Hold on a sec. Screen share. Share screen. Okay, do you guys see it? Anything?
Yep.
Yeah. So
Okay, great. And I don't. So hold on. Hold on. There we go. Is it a full screen thing, or are you seeing sort of my, something's freezing here. Hold on, guys.
Yeah, I'm seeing the program as well.
Yeah. All right. I'm trying to put it into, okay. It quit on us. So hold on a sec. We're going to reopen it. All right. Well, does anyone have anything they'd like to share while we reopen? I think I'm going to have to just suck it up and get one of those beautiful new Macs, the gold one.
they're beautiful.
They really are.
They really are. I have something to share.
And who is that?
It's Tina.
Okay, hold on. Let me put you on the screen. And you share, and I'll figure this out.
Yeah. I was so very thrilled that we decided while we were on a Disney cruise to do zip lining. And I posted about it, and it really kind of took me out of my comfort zone. But what I'm trying to get to is I was really sweating that it was going to cost us, I thought, $1 gazillion to go zip lining. It was $600 for the four of us to go zip lining for an out of this world amazing experience. But what I'm trying to get to is one of my biggest whys is to really try to make as many memories as a family as we can with what we've been through with hubby. So I just put caution to the wind, and I wasn't really sure if I was really going to make Crystal executive and the funds were going to come through. And all of a sudden, the funds were there. And I got an email while I was on the ship saying that the funds were there. So that was absolutely magical. That I rank advanced while we were on the Disney cruise and the funds came through. So that was absolutely an amazing experience.
Woo! That's kind of like a little bit in line with what Brooke was talking about.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. And I was floored, like absolutely floored. And I thought, wow, that's just crazy.
Oh.
So.
Yay! Yeah. I love it.
Yay.
Okay, well, we're going to try this again. Now we're going to do this again. And share. Yeah, actually, I'm going to share just my whole screen. Desktop. There we go. Then there's not so much pressure on the PowerPoint. I think it was feeling the pressure. Hi, Jamie. All right. Here we go. Everybody cross their fingers and toes.
Here I am. Can you hear me?
Hi.
Hi.
All right. Excellent. So you guys see the word celebrate?
Yep.
So I feel like, hey, Lauren. Hi. I feel like we've been doing a little bit of that already. And we're going to just jump into some recognition to start things off. All right. So leadership advancements. We had quite a few this past week, which was great. And we had one manager, Laura. I'm going to just do first names because I don't know all of the last names. And then look at all the consultants, you guys. Christopher, Heather, Rachel, Tom, Bridget, Yolana, Laura, and Peggy. And this was something really interesting that came up at the ICU. And one of the leaders there who was training really talked about those blueprint reports. And again, if you guys could mute yourselves, please? Somebody's shuffling papers. Anyway, they talked about the importance of those reports and how so many people are really resistant to the reports and don't doing the reports and the numbers and all of that. But you know what? In reality, what this is, you guys, is these are people. These reports and these numbers and all of that represent human beings and lives being changed. So I can't say enough, even if your blueprint only has one thing on it right now, if you're just starting out and it might have one thing a week and it doesn't change that much and you think, why am I checking it every week? It's the same thing. Because it will come. It's like Gina said, have that faith. She took a leap of faith. And imagine yourself reading, oh my gosh, I'm just imagining that next time I open this, there's going to be an advancement or something. So think about it, that these really are lives. So the reports and the numbers and the cycles and the volume all represents somebody's life. And that really means a lot to me, and that's how I kind of look at these things. And Chelsea, if you see me talking on a recording from ICU Miami, that's what I shared. All right, first time cycler. This is on Suzanne Lynn's team. Sapia, double PIBs. Christine Beauchamp, I think she's gotten double PIBs. This is Brooks, personally enrolled probably every week since New Year's kickoff. Laura Dyer, Rollers Club, first time. Jamie, first 5. Woohoo! Yay! and Kayla, I don't know if she joined us, but that's on Penny's team. Woohoo! First 5. And of course, Alan Blackbird and James Downey. They also got in Rollers Club. Bonus pool, Gina Dillon has now joined us in the director's pool. Yoo-hoo! Dove into the deep end. And
Thank you.
And our top cyclers, James Downey, Alan Blackbird, and Steve and Margot Drake. Steve and Margot are on, we're all one team, but I'm just trying to identify people. Penny's team. So anyway, we're going to jump into a Facebook training, and this training was from Corey Kinnear. This is a gal who I had not heard speak before. The only place I saw pictures of her was she earned the trip to Paris, which means she grew a massive income to qualify to go on that trip. And she built 98% of her business initially from Facebook. So when someone like that talks, let me tell you, I had notes just all over. And why Facebook? And why social media? Why Pinterest? Why Instagram? Why any of those platforms? Because it's free. We get to use these platforms for free, and that's really huge. Now, keep in mind, Facebook is not used to sell. People don't go to Facebook to buy things, they go to be entertained. So that's really, that has to be the focus of our communication, even though we certainly hope to connect with people. But have any of you gone to Facebook to look for something to buy? Probably not, right? So keep that in mind. And if we are giving a message to Facebook that we're selling something, it's a big red flag, and Facebook can put you down further down in news feeds and even possibly shut you down. And Facebook apparently looks for things like join me or message me or all those little things. I'm sure you guys have been approached by different companies. The mascara company's really big on Facebook recruiting, the wrap company, those different companies who use those kinds of tactics. So be really, really careful on the wording you use when you are your Facebook posts. All right, so it all starts with a really compelling profile, and I'm still seeing some people, it's getting much, much, much better, I must say, but I'm still seeing people with the no profile picture or their doggy's profile picture or no cover photo and everything. So what's the first thing you see on a Facebook profile? It's your cover photo and the profile picture. It's a really good idea to change the profile. Hey, Joe, finally see your face. You can mute out until we all start interacting at the end. Anyway, change your cover photo weekly. This is a good idea. And do it during prime times. And we'll talk about what the prime times are. And something that I just learned on my own a while back is that I've started doing is I might post a really nice picture beginning of the week that I'm thinking might be a cover photo later in the week with, of course, some sort of write-up or something, some reason why I'm sharing the pictures. And that way you get some likes and comments on that. And then when you switch, and then when you put it as your profile picture, you select from existing pictures, and it attaches already all those likes and comments. So if additional people like and comment when they see that you've switched your, excuse me, not your profile, your cover photo, that just attaches to that. So instead of putting a separate cover photo on, that's an option. I'm not saying that's mandatory, but I've found that that's really effective to get more notice of a certain picture. So if your page, if you do your profile photo and your cover page properly, it's going to convey the right image. So the cover photos, great things to put on cover photos are some of the things you're passionate about. And we're going to talk a little bit about branding. Make sure your cover photos match that branding. Make sure that it's it all goes together, that there isn't a disconnect between that, so that people get to know who you are through your images as well. So tips for your profile picture, like I said, it's one of the most important things, and it is called Facebook, and some of you have had this chat with me as it's not, you know, white outline of a head book, it's not your dog's picture book, it's not as cute as our babies are, that's not what, put them in the cover photo, put them all over your newsfeed, absolutely, but that's not the place. If I get a friend request from someone and I don't see who they are, I don't see their face, unless I actually do know them, I very rarely accept. So it's your face on Facebook. And I found a little link, I hope this will take us there. That'll show us some of the things not to do. Is your picture changing? Okay,
yes.
Great. Here we go. So this one, you guys, any of you get friend requests like this or have friends who do that? Rarely will I accept, and I did have to accept someone into the group, right, Lauren? But
Oh,
yeah. So this might be a great article that you can send to that gal. So that they call that the egghead, the cartoon, of course, the badly formatted pic, or something sideways, the shadow where you can't really even see the person's face, and of course those beautiful babies, and then something really weird that you can't even tell what it is, or drunken photos. I think we're all way past that age, but we do see them still all the time. And you don't have to go out and get professional photos done, but get some nice lighting and have someone just do a few. Definitely be smiling, be inviting. And Lauren, I would really encourage you to get some more photos, because I was trying, the one when I was looking for one for you to put into the newsletter last week, I had a hard time finding one just of you, of your beautiful face. So that's your challenge for the week, if you choose to accept it.
You don't see those, and when you okay.
What's that? No, Lauren Raymond. Sorry, Lauren Raymond.
Okay.
I forgot we have two Laurens on here. She's nodding. She knows what I'm talking about. All right. So we're all clear. Any questions on pictures or cover photos? Anyone have any questions about that? Okay, so branding yourself, and that's really important as well. And that's something I'm constantly working on and wanting to do a better job of. Although I do think people who follow me on Facebook, or if somebody went and read, a few of my posts or scrolled through a week of my newsfeed or my wall, they would get a pretty good sense of what I'm about, the things I like, the things I maybe don't like. So what is the message that you want to convey? What's going to differentiate you from other people? And what's the feeling you want people to have when they land on your profile? And that should be very much congruent with the feeling that you want people to have when they meet you. Because this is a way of meeting people now, right? And so what can people count on you for? Branding yourself continued. So what are the 3 things you're most passionate about? And those are the kinds of things that you can put in your cover photo. Like, I love horses. I love elephants. Sometimes you'll see elephants in my cover photo. I'm really big into, gratitudes and sayings of gratitude. Personally, my hubby and I are really getting more into hiking. So that's kind of another personal one. Business-wise, I'm working on incorporating a little bit more of that, but that's more kind of lifestyle stuff. And we can all do a better job of that, guys. I really want this team to start collecting before and after pictures. I see the teams that are growing like crazy. They use their own teams before and afters. And it's really exciting when we get to celebrate people. But you can also post pictures of you're at a Super Saturday of a learning that you're doing, pictures from your travels. If you're hosting an in-home, don't post isogenic stuff necessarily, but so excited to get together with such wonderful people, and we're plotting and planning how to make the world a better place, or just things that really intrigue and create interest. So work on that. What are your 3 greatest personality traits? And work on does your communication on Facebook convey those? What are the 3 words that describe who you are? And this was in our workbook from ICU, and I really encourage you to actually do the work of these questions. And if anybody needs them, I can post them in the group. If you can't write fast enough, I'll post them in the business group. And then what problems can you help solve? And then write 2 sentences that describe who you are and what you're about. So this is going to help you keep on track of what kinds of things you post. And sometimes you guys might see I post something and you think, well, that's kind of weird and random. That seems odd for Stephanie. But maybe I just hung up from having a great 3-way call with someone, or I just made a new Facebook friend, or I just talked to someone and we share a love for Chocolate Lab or something. So I might post something that's very specifically targeted to someone I just recently spoke with. All right, so here's the big one, and I think you guys are also getting much better at this, but I was even surprised at the number of posts that are recommended. This one shocked me, but it's 15 per week or more. And I just went, oh my gosh, that's a lot. But you know what? If you break it down per day, it's not that bad. And really important to follow the 10-4-1 rule. And what that means is 10 posts that relate to your branding. And I don't mean, of course, Isagenix, but they're about who you are. Funny, inspirational pictures, something about your hobbies. I love Lauren posts some really cute little things about her kids. Lauren Raymond, things they said to each other. Sister said this, brother said that. Like, people love that stuff. You catch your kids, tearing their room apart. Take a picture of that. Those are the kinds of things that really, really get a lot of interaction. It seems kid ones, pet. For those of you who have pets, post that kind of stuff. Who was it that was sharing? I can't remember it wasn't Corey, but somebody else. Oh, it was at New Year's Kickoff that she shared about how she dropped her car keys down a garbage chute in an apartment building, and, just being real. Just the funny things that happen to us in life. So that's the 10. And these should be interspersed. You don't do 10 of those and then 4 of those and then 1 of those. So intersperse them. Then 4 posts should be somewhat related. So some of the success stories, photos of team trainings, before and afters, congratulations. Now, when we congratulate someone publicly on Facebook, we might not say, yay, you just went consultant, or yay, you just went 1-star. But we can talk about the income they're generating, or the lives they're changing, or, Brooke, I think we should definitely formulate a great post, Brooke, about you having one of your best income weeks while you were traipsing around the world down in Australia. I think that's really, really great. And then the 1 post should be related to your business. And what that means, again, it's not necessarily saying Isagenix in it, but Corey called those power posts. And that's just something that is so enticing and exciting and inviting that people would want to say, like, what are you up to? What is it that you do exactly? Or they're watching. They may not come out and ask. And this was something interesting that was in the Facebook training video that I don't know if you all got to watch. But even this is something I haven't done, and Brooke, maybe if we have time to share afterwards, I wonder if you do anything with it, because I've noticed that you check your likes. I never really check who likes. I say, oh, that's cool, or I might see it, pop up, so-and-so liked your post. But when you get 30 likes on a post, it might be, and it's business related, or it's a before and after related, it might be interesting to go look at who are these people. Now, a lot of it's probably going to be our team, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's someone you haven't heard from in a long time. And you can pop them a message, hey, thanks so much for liking my post. What have you been up to? And start a conversation. Because sometimes people are hesitant to ask or to put themselves out there, but if you open that door, they may then ask. And think about it, for every like that you get, there's probably 100 other people who saw your post who didn't do anything. And for every comment you get, there are probably 200 people who saw your post and didn't say anything. So 10-4-1 rule, really, really, really important. And you definitely want to mix it up. You don't want to be, put 3 before and afters in a row, and pay attention to the times, which we'll be going over. So, and if you guys have some great posts that you're doing or getting some traction, share them with us, or, message in the CEO group or in the CEO chat, or go into the Facebook business group and say, hey, I just posted this, and I got some great results. You guys feel free to share. I think that's a great thing to do. All right, here are the best posting times. These, of course, would be in your time zone, whatever time zone you're in. So between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m., 8 p.m. and 10 p.m., and this really surprised me, but the more I've been paying attention, the more I realize it's true. Nighttime is when Facebook does get way, way busier. A little bit sometimes at lunch, but depends on the day. Friday is probably a lot less Facebook. 7:30 a.m., noon, and 6 p.m. Not as big a windows. People just will pop in, check it, pop in, check it, pop in, and check it. And Saturday surprised me, because I found Saturday to be a really slow day, though I posted a post this past Saturday that actually did get a fair bit of traffic. So Saturday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., and then 4 p.m. to 6 p.m., and then Saturday evenings, usually people are busy or doing things with family. And then this was my biggest surprise, is that Sunday, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. is prime time on Facebook. She said Corey said that she can get 4 enrollments on a Sunday night with a power post. So that's the other thing. We can also, if somebody is going to make a power post, let's support each other. Let's click on it or comment on it, help drive it up the news feed. The only exception to Sunday night, if it's a long weekend, then it would become a Monday night. The Monday would be the Sunday. So that is absolute prime time. All right, so what are some do's and don'ts on Facebook? Do have proper profile and cover photos. We talked about that. Do post 15 or more times a week, and be consistent. Don't not post for 3 days and then do 8 posts in one day. That'll annoy people, and they'll unfollow you and not want you in their newsfeed. The other thing is, be yourself and be authentic and be raw and real. And really, I can't say enough about that. And I'm not saying, go expose air your dirty laundry on Facebook or anything, but don't always try to pretend everything is roses and sunshine. If you lose your car keys down the garbage chute, that's okay to share something like that. Share on Facebook what you would share with maybe a funny story that you would share at a cocktail party with new friends as you're getting to know people. So I think it's really important to be yourself and don't try to pretend to be somebody else. I'm not sure if I have this in any other section, so I'm going to also say, do start posting videos and photos, because those get way more traffic than just words. But mix it up. Sometimes you write a little paragraph or something, then have a photo. And videos truly are the way of the future as far as getting seen. And make your posts public. That's a really, really, really big one. I haven't figured out how to do it from Instagram automatically, because Corey does a lot of stuff where it goes from Instagram to Facebook. So I think, as far as I know, and maybe Brooke knows how to do that, but I think you have to then go and make it public on Facebook. Same with Buffer. Buffer seems to make it to friends only, so there's got to be a setting in that app. So those are some great do's. Also, do fill out your About section and make it public. Do you guys have that all filled out? There's a section that's about you. So if somebody, for example, clicks on my Facebook, or clicks on my Facebook, excuse me, if sends me a friend request, the first thing I do is go check them out. So let's see what I have for, we'll go back to Facebook later, but I'll go check them out and I'll read their About section. And if there's nothing there, and I'll scroll on their wall, and if there's nothing compelling there, I really do think twice about accepting friend requests. So do add value. You know, if you find an interesting blog, an article, things of interest, download it and upload it, or copy the link and paste it clean. That's another thing we're going to get into, the don'ts. Don't just keep sharing other people's posts. Do interact with others. Do comment and like on other people's posts, on your friends' posts. If one of their friends says something interesting in the comments, click like on that. Become more visible on Facebook. And in the comment section, it's great to be able to ask open-ended questions, because then that helps build relationships and it helps build a conversation back and forth. Do you guys all do Facebook birthdays, wishing your friends happy birthdays? Great.
Yep.
And another way to take that up a little notch, like I made a little Facebook video, a happy birthday video, but another way to take it up a notch is to inbox them, to actually, you know, just not just the standard happy birthday, but hey, hope you're having a great day. What are you doing to celebrate your birthday? Or what did you do to celebrate your birthday if it's the day after? So again, opening that interaction. All right, some don'ts. Don't mention Isagenix on your wall, and especially this is key for brand new people. You know, they're making a first impression, and let your people know that, because you'd be amazed. People sometimes order and they get so excited before you even have the conversation, like, oh, I just ordered my Isagenix, and then it sort of gives the mystery away before we can even help them start making their Facebook posts to help them go consultant. Okay, don't say the ask me how, message me, who wants to join me. Those are the things that Facebook does look for. And apparently they will absolutely just bury posts like that, so nobody or very few people get to see them. And this is a tough one. This might be a tough pill to swallow. And I certainly have stopped doing this for the last few years, but at the beginning I friended and accepted friends from everybody in Isagenix, but it's really important, and Corey was clear on this. Carolyn Rodriguez, who I'm personally friends with, not just Facebook friends with, sent me a note. She said, after, she's like, I'm unfriending you, I still love you, but I don't want ISA people on my newsfeed and in my friends list. So I'm doing some of that. Obviously our team, of course, I'm going to always accept members of our team and want to be friends with our team, but there was a point when my newsfeed was completely filled with Isagenix people's posts. And the other thing that happened is that I would post some strategic, you know, mystery posts to generate interest, and I'd have 8 people go, oh yeah, isn't Isagenix great? Oh yeah, I love my whatever, Ionic Supreme, and it just give it away in all the comments. So be strategic in that, you guys. You can follow people that you want to, you know, you're interested in or want to know what they're up to. But I would really encourage you to limit your friends lists to people who are on your direct team. All right, don't share others' content. Download, then upload. And if you don't know how to do that, it's really easy. Google it, or YouTube video, how do I download photos and upload them again? And then write something. That's the next one. Don't post links, photos, or videos, or anything that you are wanting to share unless you put some reason why you're sharing that. Like I have friends who all they do is share links, share links, share links, share links. I don't know what they think about that, and I've stopped even clicking on it. I think I'm not interested if they're not telling me why they're interested in this, interested enough to share it on their wall. I'm not really interested in reading it, right? So infuse yourself into every post. And I'm not saying steal people's content. If you need, like I'll sometimes write something from Simon Sinek. I always credit that it's Simon Sinek. I don't pretend it's my wisdom, but I don't just share his content. I'll copy it, I'll paste it, and then I'll put him as the source of that. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So why, and hashtags, that was another huge one. I've sort of played around with hashtags on Facebook without really knowing that much about it, but I learned a lot from Corey. So why hashtags? Hashtags draw attention to what you have to say. And I don't know why that's there. Anyway, hashtags draw attention to what you have to say. Sorry about that, guys. It's almost like we can't really bold or underline or anything on Facebook, so it is a little bit kind of doing that. Let me just click through there. Hashtags. And then do you guys know about the what's trending? Where you can see what's trending? Okay.
No.
So there's a section, and I'll show it to you when we pop out of here, when we go onto my Facebook. You can see what's trending, and that's usually through hashtags. And believe it or not, I found out that people will now search by hashtags, like looking for fitness tips or looking for healthy recipes, and people search Facebook via hashtags, which I did not know. But once you see I'll show you the trending thing, and that means what's really, really, really hot on Facebook. You can, if it makes sense to incorporate it, obviously don't use a trending hashtag if it makes no sense to your post. But Corey gave a great example of one. You feel like The Walking Dead sometimes. I used to as well until I found my nutritional program. The minute she hashtags that trending hashtag, she's in the trending feed, not just to her friends, but to all of Facebook. So that was a really, really cool little tip. So any questions about what we've talked about so far? Okay, we're going to take it to real time in a sec. Oh, did someone have a question?
No.
All right, so we're done with that. And I know Penny and I were talking about, and I think we have time a little bit to go into this, that, hang on, I'm trying to get out of this, you guys, that are any of you using Pages at this point?
I am.
I do.
Okay. Hold on, let me figure out how to stop the sharing here. Who is that said I do?
Gina.
Gina, okay.
And Penny does.
So do you have a Isogenics page?
No, I have my own website page called brilliantlife.com.
Okay, so I would really, and I have a horrible echo, so again, I think your phone is muted. You guys hearing an echo?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, I'll show you what I mean by that. But first, are you guys still seeing my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so here's what the kind of stuff I'm talking about. So here are some friend requests. So, oh, the one already canceled the request because I didn't accept. But here's one, like a red T-shirt as a profile picture. I'm sure it probably means something. The other one I had that I didn't accept was just the white head that we taught. Here's another one, the white head. And there's a cartoon one here. So I always click and look on their wall, and then I look on their about section. This is right here. So she has her link. She's a network marketer. This is all she has in her about section. There's nothing really that tells me who she is or what she's about, this gal. So I don't know. I may or may not accept. So check that out when you get your friend requests, or if you're going to be talking to somebody, doing a three-way call, get a link to that person before the three-way call and look, check out their wall. But what I wanted to talk about pages is whatever region you live in. I would encourage each of you to, and if you want to just take it and 100% copy it and use the RSS feed. So what that means is I have a Calgary Isagenix Independent Associate page. And this page, I don't even touch it. I don't do anything. All of these posts are done automatically, and I'll show you guys where to find how to do that. It's done through an RSS feed. And I get probably, I would say, how many? Probably 6 people that I've signed up from this page. So now people are looking. Like if you go and search Calgary Isagenix on Facebook, my page will come up. If you search Scottsdale Isagenix on Facebook, likely my page will come up. And even if people are searching Google, these pages are coming up. So feel free to copy every single thing. Now, if you copy the content from back here, the About section, page info, be sure to add your own links because I do have some links in here. So you want those links going obviously to anywhere there are links that they're going to your page. And the RSS feed, how that works, there's a little link here, and I can post that again in the Team Freedom Business Group, exactly how to set it up. So once you build your page, and if you copy this, and again, I'm totally okay with you guys copying every word of this. All my pages are exactly the same. Then you set up the RSS feed. It tells you how. It's super easy. I'm not a highly technical person, and I managed to do it. Feel free to use the cover photo or your own cover photo or whatever, and then we can all like each other's pages. But you'd be amazed at how people now are starting to look for Isagenix as we're going into momentum. So that is what I wanted to say about that.
Fantastic. Love that.
Okay, cool. And there we all are. So, as always, I'd love to end with any takeaways, learnings. Anyone learn anything new?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Who's saying, oh, yeah, absolutely? Was that Lauren Ross?
Lauren. Oh, yeah.
There you are.
I love, well, I've been working on my Facebook because I know, like, I've been trying to do the busser and stuff, trying to really get that since I watched that video that you sent. I took a lot of notes of that, and I'm really trying to figure out my branding and what I want to say and what we want to convey, right? So that's really hard is really what you want to say and telling people what you're about. You know, it's a lot of thought, and it's not just something you put together, right? I mean, it's really doing some internal soul searching to say, what are my 3 greatest this? What are my, what am I really passionate about? And, what do I want to present myself to the world and be, right? And try and be my authentic self. So I think it's really, really good.
Yeah. And I think that work is going to pay off so much. And you guys even, posting stuff about your sailboats and different things like that, that's so cool. And start thinking about hashtags around that. And let's, in the business group, I know I have such a horrible echo, in the business group, let's start playing around with hashtags. So we could have maybe a dozen that we use as a team. I know Brooke has her own hashtag now. I know Lauren Ross does. And we can support each other at those hashtags. So, thank you.
Stephanie, was there one that we were going to start using? That you were going to start using?
Mine that I use, and that's the rebranding team name, is the Fuel the Change.
So if we're posting something that's appropriate and related and all that stuff, we can, is it a good idea for us to use that as well?
Absolutely. And then Brooks has one called Fuel Your Freedom. And Lauren Ross, I can't remember yours. but we can share them in the business group. Let's share some of the ones we like. And you guys, Lauren and John, you guys are building a freedom lifestyle, really. You know, it doesn't have to do with sailing. You're creating the freedom to do that. That's your passion, but you have to make it more broad so that other people might think, well, I would like a freedom lifestyle, or whatever you decide that yours is.
We've got Boundless Life.
What's that?
Boundless Life.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good.
Stephanie, on those RSS feeds, which ones do you use? Like there's 5 different, I'm on the site right now to figure out how to do it, and there's like 5 different blogs. Do you just use isogenicshealth.net? Do you use the podcast or?
Yeah, I think, hold on a sec. I think I use the ISA FYI. And I might actually have two, ISA FYI and Isogenics Health. And I guess it depends really on, you know, the gist, again, the gist of your page that you want.
Okay.
You're going to post
I guess I have to go and look at what FY has. Thank you.
No problem.
Steph, you're going to post that, right? On how to do, how to get that page?
Yes, I will. I'll do it now. Or as soon as we're done on the call. All right, anyone else want to share anything before we wrap it up?
Can I make a request again? Can you also post the personal branding info as well?
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. We went over that pretty quick.
Mine wasn't, I guess, like a learning, but it's more of a comment. But I loved like what Brooks said as well with not doing the work for everyone else. Like, you know, they have to learn it for themselves. We're all given the same tools. And I know at the end of the Australian celebration, even Peter Kelly had mentioned that, and I really liked it. But even with you, Steph, like, I know I've come to you and asked you questions, and you'll even just gently say, check out ISA Business. And you're not rude about it, but it's true. I need to go through there and do it. And so you'll still tell me, and you won't do it for me. And it's you're still coaching, you're still helping me, but you're making me do the work myself, which is what I have to do to be successful anyway. So
yes, and thank you for saying that. And you know, it's such a it's about that. I love that saying. It's if you tell somebody, if somebody asks a question in our Facebook group and you provide the link to the direct answer, you've given that person a fish. You know that story. Give them a fish. If you provide the resource where they can find it, you're teaching them to fish. So you can say, there's a great website called isogenicsbusiness.com or isogenicshealth.com, and it has a search function where you can search for articles about that, you know? And Penny,
sorry, I was muted for a sec, just in case mine was causing the back feed, but no, and I know you and I have even had that conversation where I was bad for doing that exact thing, and I think I've gotten better about it, but I mean, all of your feedback, you're just, I don't know about everyone else, but I know that I always find your feedback or ways like that I can improve. They're always, you never make it feel like I'm being criticized or having my hand slapped. You're educating me. And I just wanted to thank you for that, because it's good to have in a coach, someone who knows how to do that properly. So thank you.
well, and thank you, Chelsea. And that's because you're so coachable and you're so open. You know, other people might take it exactly the other way. So that's you. That's about how you're receiving it. So thank you. I appreciate that. And I really you'd be amazed at how often I use Google for isogenic. I'm not kidding you. Oh, Google, you can find a price list, you can find ingredients, you can find training. If I'm looking for something specific and I'm like, okay, shoot, which site did I see that on? And we have so many sites. I'll just Google the exact search term, and it takes me to where I need. So
okay, perfect.
Penny knows Google's my very favorite tool. All right, you know what I would love, you guys, if everyone in the Team Freedom page just says what a great call, and we comment on that, and even on my wall or on our walls, let's talk about, wow, love this team, what a great call, moving forward together. Let's make it so people want to be part of it, or more and more people. You know what I mean?
And should we hashtag fuel the change when we do that as well?
Woohoo! Let's.
Okay.
And throw your own hashtag in there.
Okay.
Oh, hubby didn't get to say hi. He's here too. You probably didn't hear anything, did you?
You're taking notes.
Hi.
There we go. Another said hi.
Oh.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Next week, same time, same station. Next week, well, I'll post what we're going to train on next week. It's going to be good. Mwah. Love you guys. Have an amazing week.
Yes, you say bye too.
Yeah, that's.
Bye.